There's been even more drama that's happened today, which I thought this shit was funny. I'm laying on the sofa. At 3 in the morning, and I'm seeing people messaging me like, oh, there's this thing that happened, like, oh, like Ludwig has reacted or spoke. No, did you see how Ludwig talked about it? He probably didn't do anything, right? Ludwig probably did Ludwig did probably the thing that Ludwig does. He says, damn, that's crazy. Anyway, back to making money. Let me guess, that's what he did, right? I'm just gonna take a guess. Am I right? Yes, okay, that's right. He's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. I like Ludwig a lot. I think he's a great guy. And so, yeah, he's smart. He moguled out. Yeah, he's moguled out of his mind, guys. Yeah, and that's it. And I just think it's spineless. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't want to get involved in it. He just wants to make money making content, and that's it. Not everybody has to have an opinion about every social event and every drama that happens on the internet. Not everybody has to do this. You don't need to have an opinion on everything, okay? I know people might want it. People might need it, but you don't. And if you don't care, and obviously, by the way, Ludwig cares. He has an opinion, okay? He does care. It's not like one of these people that actually doesn't care. You wouldn't have made a drama channel where you farm other people's dramas for 3 years. You remember that? And get a degree in journalism. Remember that? And so you would not have done all of these things if you didn't care about this stuff. You'd be talking about it if you could, but you know it's bad for business and you just don't do it. That's a smart idea. I don't think that's bad at all. I don't criticize that. I don't complain about that. I don't think it's an issue. But yes, there it is. He just doesn't want Hassan's fans to attack him. Yeah, but the thing is that if he defends Hassan, then he'll have people that maybe are my fans that attack him, right? Or Tectone fans, or people that just think that Hassan did something to the dog. I mean, like, it's a lose-lose situation. Yeah, you lose by playing. Like, there are a lot of games that you lose by playing. There is no right side. Absence of opinion is an opinion? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is. But, like, the opinion is I don't want to get involved. Like, that's the reason, right? And, yeah, it's that simple. And, like, Destiny 2, yeah, I guess so. And, I'll talk about the Pokimane thing. So, basically, this has been, like, this one happened this morning, which is why I want to talk about it. So, Pokimane and Lily Pichu canceled their podcast episode release featuring Hassan. And so I guess Pokimane and Lily Pichu had a podcast, and people, I did not know this, and I don't mean, I'm not trying to be diminutive or something like that, I just was not aware of this, but anyway, they had a podcast, and, you know, they had Hassan on the podcast, right? And so, small update, hey, Taste Buds, I'm assuming this is, that podcast is called Sweet and Sour, and I'm assuming Taste Buds is a play on that, and it's like it's the name of their fans. I'm just, you know, this is what I learned in honors English class in high school, okay, is how to use you know, these things and to figure out context clues. All right, and so anyway, this is a tough one to write. Yeah, think about this. This is a tough one to write, but we wanted to give you all a heads up that we're unfortunately going to be missing our first scheduled Saturday video tomorrow. We've been watching the recent drama unfold concerning our guest. And it's been getting intense. We had a serious talk as a crew, and we all agreed that it did not feel right uploading tomorrow's episode at this moment in time. Our community is our favorite thing, and the reason we do this is to create a space that is comfy as always and a true escape. We do not want to impact the cozy atmosphere that we've all built together. Thanks for always supporting our vision for a fun, positive place to hang out. See you all next week, Sweet and Sour Steph. So basically, they didn't want to have Hassan on the show because of the dog thing, right? I mean, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. But here's what I think is funny. It gets better, okay? You think, okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense, right? It gets better. So Pokimane comes out and tweets and says the episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it out of fear it had caused drama, and posted this statement without my approval, sad face. Sorry guys, we'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on hiatus afterwards to restructure. Now, let me go ahead. You guys like translation? I'm gonna do a little bit of corporate Rosetta Stone, okay? I'm gonna give you. I am the corporate Rosetta Stone, okay? Fuck, give me a second. Okay, there it is. Okay, so what does this mean? All right, people don't know what does restructure mean. Okay? That's it. That's what it means. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. That's the way it goes. It's a firing. The firings will continue until morale improves. Look at the top comment. She got absolutely roasted. Well, I'll go back and I'll see if I can find it. And I'll see what she says about it. But anyway, so I think that I really feel bad for the staff. I do. I feel bad for the staff, and I'll explain why I feel bad for the staff, okay? Throwing your staff under the bus instead of disavowing animal abuse is definitely something I'd expect from you. People are not happy about this hiatus to restructure. Bro tased his dog repeatedly. Lamau, you don't need to go on a spiritual awakening journey. How can I make this about me? Imagine firing your staff because they don't like puppy torture. So everybody has an opinion on this. People are generally mad at her for saying this and doing this. I think that, see, this is Pokemon's mistake. She should have messaged me like Ray did, and I would have told her how to handle this. And it would have been fine. It would have been. See, and this is the problem. Because you could have done this in the right way. You really could have. Because really, she should have just asked me, and I'd have been able to deal with this. It'd have been no problem. Right? But sometimes people don't want to do that. And right there in the butt, no. But like, if Ray's mistake, I'll get to that. But I'll say it right now. Ray's mistake is she should have messaged me twice. She should have asked me what she should do. And she also should have asked me, should she say that she asked me? And I'd have told her nothing both times. That she should have asked me if she should have told people that she asked me. I would have said, don't tell people that. I was surprised she said it. Y'all know I never said that shit about her because I knew people would react that way. They get mad as fuck. And so absolutely. So the only thing you could have thanked us? Nah, the thing is, like, exactly. And so, yeah, she should just ask me about it. I was surprised. Somebody said there was a clip of her talking about me. I read it the first time in chat. I didn't say it out loud. Because I was like, there's no way she'd say that because then her audience would get mad. And then I opened up LSF and it's there and I said, oh, shit. Oh, boy. That poor girl. But anyway, I get to that. Give me a few minutes, right? But I get back around that. But that's true. Yeah, exactly. It is a bit of a self-report. You don't care about getting backstabbed? Not really. I don't really like... The thing is that I am the only virtuous person left in the world. And because of that, I have to uphold a certain level of honor and dignity that transcends mortal desires and the most humble. So no, I don't give a shit. If you want me to be honest, I didn't even watch the clip. I was busy. I was doing other stuff. I didn't even watch it. Yeah, like, I didn't even think about this shit. And so anyway, that's it. Why bother? Yeah, bro, like, it's me, right? I mean, it's always gonna be me. And that's it. And so I don't take anything personally, but I'll get around to that, okay? I'll get around to that and talk about that. But before I do, I'm gonna get to this. So Pokemon, this is what she should have done. She should, because this is an issue, right? And I think that, you know, it's a lack of empathy, I think, with her. And I'll explain the reason why I say that. The reason why I say that is because I think that she should understand that while she has a big fan base and a lot of people are fans of her and they're going to defend her and she's got a lot of people that like her, a lot of her staff don't have that. And so what happens is that the staff are now getting attacked on social media. People are being hostile to them. Somebody sends in a mean message to the Patreon of this, of this thing, and, or to the YouTube channel. You want to know who's going to read that? It's going to be the staff that are going to read that. So if I was her and I saw that my staff had put out a statement like this, I will be honest, it would fucking annoy me. It would make me mad. It would piss me the fuck off because they should have asked me before they said this and they should have talked to me ahead of time. I'd be fucking mad. But what I would have done is I would have said, listen, I understand that a lot of you guys like Hassan, but there's a lot of people that don't like him right now, and I don't want to put my staff in a situation where they could be caught in the crossfire between, you know, my friendship with somebody else and internet drama. And that, at that point, would have, you know, it would have exonerated the staff. They would have not gotten attacked because, again, you're trying to protect them from things having, you know, like something bad happening to them, right? Because I view, like, this is the way I see a lot of things, right? Is that, like, whenever you have people that are working for you in a way, and I don't mean this in a degrading way, but like they're your flock in a way, right? Like you're the shepherd. You have to lead them in the right position. You have to take care of them. You have to help them, and you have to do your best to do what is in their best interest and to help them and to do what the right thing is for them. Because in the same way that they serve you, they have put their faith in you for you to also serve them. And so whenever I see somebody throw an employee under the bus, like there have been issues, I will tell you this, okay? There have been a number of issues where people have had problems, and I have been of the opinion that the other person was wrong and not me. I'm not going to make it any more specific than that because I don't want anybody to even begin to start guessing. But it's happened. It's happened multiple times. It's happened many times. And you don't know a single one of them. And you never will. And the reason why is because, and in the instances that it did happen and people talked about it, I've always taken the blame. I've taken the blame because at the end of the day, the fact is that, you know, you are the leader. And as the leader, you have to take accountability. You make the most money, you take the most accountability. If it comes time to fall on your sword, it has to be you. And for better or for worse, that's the responsibility of a leader. And I'm not perfect. Everybody's made mistakes. But to throw the staff under the bus and to say that, oh, well, they did this without our consent and they didn't do this, I think this basically makes them, it effectively makes them homeless. Because, and I don't mean the fact that they're inevitably probably going to get fired or at least chewed out by this. But what I do mean is that now they've already positioned themselves against the Hassan fan base. And now the Hassan fan base will dislike them. And they're also going to get hate because they were associated with Pokimane now, who is, you know, like, okay with doing it. So you're effectively having everybody attack you now. And as an individual that's just an employee in the space, right? I'm not talking about a creator, but an employee in the space, that is tremendously overwhelming. And I try to avoid letting any of that happen. Here's a good example of this. Have you ever noticed that I never even discuss who my editors are? I never discuss anything about that at all. And I often say that I don't really, you know, my mods, like I don't help my mods at all, like because I don't want anybody to ever think that and that's the reason, right? And that there's a reason for this. And I do all of this. There are many things that I do that people might not notice that are intentional in order to make sure that other people are not caught as collateral damage. And also, if it comes a time where, you know, it's either I look bad or somebody else does, I usually take the responsibility because I'm the person who's generally, you know, in charge of things, right? And so, and any of my mods can confirm this, except for maybe two of them that might be mad about something. But, you know, like, we'll see what happens. And anyway, you should write a streamer handbook. I don't need to write a streamer handbook. Every leadership handbook in the last 1,000 years that's been written says the same things that I'm saying right now. If you go back and you listen to, you know, a fucking general in the army in World War I, he probably said some variation of this. If you go back and you look at, you know, the people that were sieging Constantinople, they were probably saying some variation of this. This is something that is timeless. It's not new. It's not invented by me. This has been going on forever. You just look at the way it is, right? Rule by fear or respect. Well, that's Machiavelli, but it's fear or love. But yes. Anyway, I can go back and talk about that more. But my point is that, you know, I feel bad for the staff. I really do, because Pokey kind of threw them under the bus. And, you know, I get that they did something wrong, but from her perspective, I think that she's not being empathetic of the type of collateral damage that, you know, they're going to be subject to whenever they get attacked for being on a podcast with Hassan, when Hassan is in the middle of a lot of really big drama. So basically, for her, it doesn't probably seem like a big deal because, well, you know, it's not happening to her. But for them, I think it's going to be very unpleasant and very stressful. And I don't really think it's fair. And I think that, you know, again, like, you know, she should just ask. Next time, Pokey can just ask me. And you don't have to tell people, by the way. Actually, it's in fact, I learned yesterday, it's in fact better not to. You don't have to tell people, but just ask me. I'll deal with it. I'll take care of it for you. Yeah, I'll tell you what to do. It's all right. But, you know, because you don't want to have a situation like this happen again, right? I mean, it's not good for anybody. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. And I'll read a few more of these comments here and look at it. And do you think she talked to them first before making this post, or just made the post before confronting them? I don't know. Probably she just made the post, but who knows? Like, I can't read minds in that regard. I don't think they did anything wrong because I think she lied. Read my message, please. I don't know what she did. I mean, I can't know this for sure one way or another. And speaking of Constantinople, made a Byzantine Assassin's Creed concept global. Well, Constantinople, I think, was held by the Holy Roman Empire, by the last emperor, the Constantine, and the Byzantine Empire rose after the Holy Roman Empire fell. So the Byzantine Empire doesn't really have anything to do with Constantinople. That's my understanding. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, that's what I thought. But I could have gotten it wrong. It was Byzantine? Was it really? Yeah, is that it? I got it confused? I'd have to go back. And, well, anyway, and that's not even close, bro. Well, I probably got it confused then. Well, anyway, my point is that I remember it the wrong way. Maybe I probably just read it the wrong way. But anyway, so was it not Holy Roman, only Roman Empire? Yeah, maybe it might have been, but that was what I thought it was, but I could be wrong. My point is, anyway, that, you know, all this stuff that happens and everything, you know, it is kind of, it's kind of disappointing for me to see it happen for some of these people, but, yeah. And you're close but wrong. That's the way it is, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened in history. I can't get them all right. But anyway, so that's generally what I think about this, right? And yeah, it's disappointing to see this happen. And I think also, I mean, if I read some of the comments on this, we're going to go back and look down on this. And let's see here. And basically, everybody is hating her, right? Like, everybody is mad. Staff getting fired for not supporting animal abuse. Like, literally, I don't see a single person who's supporting her. And honestly, I mean, this is, again, like, I would feel bad for her, but you did throw your staff under the bus. You did. And you could say they threw you under the bus or they didn't communicate with you, but you don't have the same position that they do. And so you have to be empathetic and see it from another person's point of view. And, you know, then it really makes a little bit more sense, right? And so, yeah, that's it. And what drives you to be a helper of people that talk behind your back? The fact that I know that none of their words will ever truly affect me, and I know that I will be successful regardless of anybody else's approval or disapproval, and I just simply do things because I can, and I don't need to worry about the approval or opinions of other people. That's the reason why. So I help them because I can, because they ask. That's all there is to it. Like, yeah, that's it. Don't need a reason. Yeah, I mean, that's really the way it is. And so, like, that's really it. Do streamers really have beef with each other? How much of it is an act? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know what people are actually thinking. It's hard. I can never read minds, right? But it does seem like this right here is, you know... You have a lot of people. Nobody is happy about this. Girl, you need a new staff. They shouldn't be making statements about you or Lily's approval of permission. Best way, it's you guys who are incorrectly receiving backlash for their statements. Yeah, but what do you think happens what do you think happens whenever you upload a video of a person who's being accused of like a, you know, like ongoing animal abuse thing, right? Like, the staff are going to get tons of harassment, like infinitely more. So yeah, that's basically it. And so anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the way that I feel about it. I feel bad for the staff, and you know, again, that's really all there is to it. And I get why she would be frustrated about this, but at the same time, I think that you know, it's kind of unfair, right? You're not all in this together. her position as an individual is very different than other people's. And so that's really it. On job offer, people are like, yeah, exactly, right? And how long do you think a Collargate is going to last? I think that with something like this, it'll probably transform into something else, if I had to guess. So right now, it's one thing, and I think over time, it will probably evolve into being something else. So it's not that big of a deal, and, you know, like, maybe people not care that much about it, but then it will probably, you know, exacerbate into something else. So anyway, let me go back over. Yeah, hopefully it ends when the song quits. Well, I don't think Hassan's going to quit. I'm sorry to say, guys. I don't think so. So, yes, this happened earlier today. That's my opinion on it, and there it is. And so, anyway, another one. So, Valkyrie apologizes to her community for DMing Asmongold. My fault for not being aware enough. Probably so hurtful and jarring. I think everyone, including myself, should be more aware of what's going on in the world. I'm not aware enough. I hear you guys. So, she went out and she said this about me, obviously. Like, she basically apologized for messaging me, right? That's pretty much what it was. And I think that, honestly, the biggest mistake that she made is that she didn't message me twice. I do. Because she should have messaged me and asked if she should have told the community that she messaged me. And if she had done that, I'd have told her no. I would have. I think this is an own goal for her. It definitely is. And so anyway, and the thing is that, listen, her community, everybody, see, like, I don't view streaming, like, I'm friendly with people in streaming, but I don't confuse myself and delude myself into thinking that a lot of people will not, obviously. I would never want and expect a person to, like, you know, put their career at risk or to do something that would be bad for their community just for my ego or to make me look good, right? And so, like, I don't take this personally. I don't get upset about this. It doesn't bother me. I'm not mad about it, etc. And so that's really it. Tectone predicted you would have said something like this. Well, I don't know if he did or not. I'd have to go back and look. I can look at it after this. But yeah, I'm not mad about this. I don't really care. I think that it's funny, if you want me to be honest. Not in a way that I'm laughing at her misfortune, but in a way that it's just like, man, what a ridiculous situation, isn't it? So, but doesn't it put you off? It seems really inauthentic. Well, it doesn't seem inauthentic because it might seem inauthentic to you because you're not looking at it through the correct lens. So for me, it doesn't seem inauthentic because these people are primarily they're streamers because it's their job. So why would I get mad at somebody doing something that's in the best interest of their career? Why would I do that? So really, I mean, am I going to expect somebody to, you know, like fall on their sword for some other opinion that I have? Absolutely not. So anybody can say anything that they want about me, and it doesn't really matter to me. I don't give a shit, right? It doesn't matter to me at all. And so that's it. And obviously, look at her VOD viewership, huge dip. Well, I don't know if people saw it or not. I have no idea. But it got 2.6 million views. And I didn't read a single positive comment. And obviously, like, yeah, she needs to set herself free from the mind prison that's progressive audience capture. It was hurtful if those fans are hurt by you speaking to someone that they invariably were going to leave for another dumb reason. So tell them to fuck off and the cool ones will stay. Probably true. I think that's accurate. And also, here's another component to this as well, is that I think that type of audience capture does happen, but it can always be scary to move away from it or try to change what you're doing because you never know what's going to happen. So, yeah, that's it. Streaming shit is optics. It's all optics. It always is, and it always will be. People will always roach out on you. Everybody will always betray you. Do you remember Judas sold Jesus out? Like, I mean, you really think about this. Jesus, at worst, was at least a wizard, right? Like, this is, like, at his very, very lowest power level, he was at least a wizard. And Judas went and sold Jesus out for about $7,000. Now, would you make an enemy with a wizard for $7,000? I would not. Fuck, I wouldn't even make an enemy of a magician for $7,000. You never know what's going to happen. And so I actually thought, so whenever Valkyrie said it, I thought that the reason why she mentioned that she talked to me was so she could posture that basically she was willing to look at the other side of the Collargate situation and try to reach across the aisle and effectively try to offer a degree of diplomacy that, it's not like I hate all of these people. It's just that I talk to them because it's not like this evil thing, right? And so I actually thought that this was maybe that was like her strategy with doing it, right? It's like kind of saying like, well, I even talk to people that, might be perceived as being against this, and this is what I said I should do. So this is what I would do, right? So it basically adds veracity to what she was saying. Like, I thought that was the logic behind it. And like, I looked at it from that perspective because that's the way that I would have done it, right? Because that's what would make sense. So, yeah. I apologize for talking to a person. Well, because her community hates me, right? I mean, that's obviously the reason why. And so, yeah, it's pretty fucking obvious. And so, anyway, bro thought that was logic. I do. I reason everything out. I reason everything out, and most things people do for a reason. And so that's really it. Can you play the video? No, I don't need to. I never watched it. I don't care. And the reason why is that I don't need to have a clip of everybody shitting on her and getting mad at her for saying this. It's not a big deal to me. I know that, for somebody like her and for a lot of other people, the amount of hate and harassment and stuff like that you get for being inside of this space is tremendous. And it is overwhelming for a lot of people, even larger creators, because I think that, like, again, people might not realize, like, across all the YouTube channels that I have, at least, right? I mean, we're getting like 200-300 million views a month, right? And that's just including on YouTube, right? That's not even on Twitch and other places too. There's a lot of people that watch the content, and there's a lot of people that are engaged. And because of that, I know that, if I talk about something or whatever, there will be a degree of collateral damage. There will be. And I don't really care necessarily, but I also only really apply that whenever I think a person is acting truly in bad faith. And whenever I see a person acting in their own best interest, I almost never fault people for acting in their own best interest. This might be, confusing to you, but I almost never do. And if you think about it, whenever I see a person doing what they think is best for them, I don't usually get offended by it because I understand why people do that, because people are animals, and animals have evolved for millions of years through natural selection with the desire to survive, right? And so, like, yeah, it's not personal, it's just business. Yes, it is. And so that's really about all there is to it. You're a better person than me. What would it take for you to completely cut someone out of your life? I mean, I don't really have, I don't make distinctions like that ever, really. I don't think about that a whole lot. I just simply live every day the way that I want to live it, and that's about it. I don't really think about all of these, grand proclamations. I don't think about, like large sweeping statements. I don't need to do that. I just simply make the decision that I think is the right decision for the right time, and that's all that I need to do. And so that's it. Someone yelling at you. I don't like people yelling at me. I don't. But yeah, I think generally if somebody does yell at me, I will probably cut them off. I don't like being yelled at, but that's also another, it's like if somebody hits me in the face, I probably wouldn't want to deal with them either, right? And so that's really all there is to it. And you're giving too much grace to these people, it's going to bite you in the ass someday. You can't just ignore it, take the high road. Well, I mean, I don't always take the high road, do I? I don't always take the high road. There are a lot of times where I take the low road. I like taking the low road, but I restrain myself and I don't do it all the time because I don't have to. And that's the reason why I don't have to do it. And it's easier. Yeah, exactly. And so let's, and also, like, I don't need to, because everybody else is mad at her too. Like, I mean, if I read a lot of these comments, I mean, this is the, it's everybody is mad about this. Literally everybody is pissed off. Like, I don't see a single positive comment about this. Even the retweets, if I look at all of this stuff here, and yeah, make apologies videos, DMing somebody. It's even obviously CatDany has, weighed in on the situation, and it's just the same type of thing that you'll always see. And if I go back over here and if I look, somebody said Tectone said something about me about this. Let me see what he said. Asmongold will go live tomorrow. See Valkyrie throwing him under the bus and say, it's okay. Understand why she had to do this. It's not a big deal. As he always says, yes, exactly. Tectone knows me. Like, I'm friends with him. And so, like, it would be, yeah, of course. Of course, that's what I would do. Yeah, because I know the way that people behave. I know how people act. It is what it is, right? And so it's just that simple. So yeah, Colorgate's making his streamers uncomfortable because they did past collabs with Hasan. Now anyone with Hasan is putting pressure on them. That's why streamers like Pokey are wanting for the drama to go away. I think that a lot of them, I do think that, I will say that there is definitely, like, with streaming, there are a lot of, like, very toxic cliques. And you guys might not notice this. Like, I guess actually you probably do. I'm not really friends with a lot of streamers. Like, I have friends that are, I do. Like, if I don't want to make a list because I'm worried that if I make a list, then I will come up with the first 5 people, okay? How about that? I'll come with the first 5 people that I would say I am 100% friends with. I would never even question. And these are people I've known for a really long time. S-Fan, fucking, let's see, Tectone right there, McConnell, Train, I would say also maybe XQC, right? Like, these are people I've been friends with for, like, fucking 8-9 years. Like, yes, we've had, you know, rough roads over the years, but overall, these are my friends, right? And I could go forward, you know, with... And I again, I do not want to be going on. There are other people that you guys are naming. A lot of those people are also on the list, but I just don't want to name everybody, right? And that's it. That's just the first 5 that come to mind. And so, anyway, the point that I'm making about this is that I'm not friends with a lot of streamers at all. I recognize that this is a business relationship, and I might be friendly with them privately, but I understand that whenever they have to behave in a professional manner, they have to act in a certain way. This is the way it is. That's life. And I get that. And I don't go looking for, it's like looking for friends as a streamer with other streamers is pretty much the same thing as going to a strip club looking for a wife. I actually had a friend that did that. It ended up getting him in jail. And no, he doesn't have custody of the kid. So, yeah, bad idea, by the way. Bad idea, and you shouldn't do that. She hits him on the head with a glass. The police show up. Guess who's sitting in the back of the cop car? That's right. Yeah. I was going to say the name, but I'm not going to say the name. Being friends with, yes, being friendly with is another thing. Exactly. And that's all there is to it. Trump said, if you want friends in Washington, buy a dog. Yes, and so anyway, there are a lot of very toxic cliques with streaming, and they will defend each other regardless of what the facts are, regardless of anything, because they are friends, and they're just going to defend each other for that reason. A lot of these people, I think that for many of the, and I don't want to say everybody, right? But I think that for many of these people, a lot of the social causes that they say that they support, etc. These are social accessories that they use to boost their image. Many of these people will never express a viewpoint or an opinion without waiting for, the mass consensus opinion or viewpoint, and then at that point, they might say something, and they might not even then. And the fact is that, again, you can't look at these people as like an authentic individual. You have to see them as a brand or a personality on the internet. It's like looking at Johnny Bravo or looking at Courage the Cowardly Dog. I think Courage the Cowardly Dog in a lot of cases is more accurate. And, in some cases, actually, especially... should I make a sexual harassment Johnny Bravo joke? I guess I will. Johnny Bravo's been pretty accurate too recently, hasn't it? So anyway, and it's more accurate than you might imagine even. So yeah, actually those are, it's funny now that I think about it, those are really 2 great examples. They most of the time fall under one of those 2, isn't it? Man, what are the odds? And so anyway, yeah, Courage, exactly. And so that's the reason, and that's the way that I feel about this stuff. Again, I'll look and I'll see if there's any more information about it on like LSF, but that's generally what I think. And it's just that's the way that that's the way the internet is, and there's no reason really to get upset about it or anything else. So yeah, it feels less and less every day. The dog thing is actually shattering the ranks. Well, I mean, I think that what happens is that, so this is the problem, and this is the issue that I think the dog thing creates for a lot of the, quote, safe space streamers, right? is that a lot of the safe space streamers, their personality on stream is a performance. This isn't really how they act in real life. They do have opinions on things, but they pretend to be a very, very narrow version of themselves in order to make themselves more appealing for, let's say, brand deals, or make themselves more appealing for a certain type of audience, right? This is very, very common. And this is what, and that's fine, by the way, you too. I mean, I'm not doing a good job of it if I'm trying to do that, but that's the reason why people do it. And so, like, with the dog thing that happens is it puts them in a very bad position, because basically they have to either side with people who they have to position themselves against, people like me, for example, and even not even like me. I've reserved judgment with this for pretty much the entire time. I find it to be ironic that people get very mad at me. The only thing that I've really done for sure is laugh at a lot of the memes because they're fucking funny. But other than that, I haven't really been super opinionated about it, right? And if you look at Kai, yeah, Kai's a great example. Kai never talks about any drama. Kai never gets involved with any issues. Speed is the same way. And nobody hates them. Well, people do, but nobody really gets super angry at them. There aren't like a lot of like big like groups of people that are like constantly trying to like, you know, have a hate mob about them. They just never talk about it, right? They just never get involved with it or talk about it or anything like that. And so Kai definitely gets into drama. I mean, not really though, right? I mean, like not what I'm talking about. So yeah. So you're saying they're just in it for the money? Well, of course people stream for money. Like, there's nothing wrong with streaming for money. Why do you think it's bad that somebody is just in it for the money? Like, I don't even understand it. So do you think that everybody that's streaming on a regular basis, that's sitting in front of the computer all the time, they're doing it just because they love it? Yeah, I think a lot of people do like doing it, but they also are doing it for a job. The thing is that most people are not, like, if you go back and you look at videos of me whenever I was in high school. There are videos of me when I was in high school. I was a little kid, and I was doing, like, really, if you look back at me at 15 years old, I have really not changed. I really haven't. And it doesn't, like, yeah, that's the way it is. And naive chatter, exactly. And yeah, I've been the same the whole time. What about you? Yeah, I mean, but I mean, there are people that are like that, but it is the minority. And also, just because somebody doesn't want to, you know, broadcast their political opinions at their job, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're just doing it for the money. It means that there's a time and place for everything, and they might not be comfortable talking about that stuff. Like, a good example of this, even with me, is the recent government shutdown. Like, whenever the government shutdown started happening, I wasn't streaming at that time, and I was just simply sitting around jerking off and playing video games all day. So if you want the honest truth, I don't really know why the government shut down. I didn't pay attention to it because I didn't really care. I wasn't looking into it at all. And so really, why would I even, but I never came on, I didn't talk about it. I was like, yeah, I don't know, guys, it seems pretty crazy, right? And yeah, I don't know if it's Democrats or Republicans' fault. It's probably both their fault to an extent, but you know, who knows? And so that's it. Money is the goal. Staying true to self isn't. Exactly. Yeah, it is. And what if Pokemon did decide to postpone it, but the backlash from a Sans fan so she made the staff take the blame? That's a big accusation. I wouldn't say that about her. That's pretty unfair. You know, like, again, maybe that's what happened, but I wouldn't say that. That's a very big accusation. So yeah, that's about it. And anyway, so that's the way that I feel about it. That's where, you know, things have been for me. And yeah, I think that, again, a lot of people hold streamers to extremely high standards, and it's very unhealthy. I think that people are extremely parasocial in a lot of regards. They want streamers to have all of the same opinions that they have, reinforce all of their beliefs and all of their feelings. I think that this is an unhealthy desire. And while everybody is free to feel and do what they want to do and feel, I also think that it's something that very obviously is not something that is, it's not healthy, right? It's very obviously not healthy. And so that's really about it. And I don't think anybody should do that. And she could have uploaded the episode literally now, but she's not, because it was her decision or with the agreement. So you think that because she didn't upload the episode, then it means that she's throwing them under the bus and she actually made the decision? That is, I mean, like, to be fair, that is good logic. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that that's the logic for that tracks. It does. Like it or hate it, cry or get mad or anything else, it's still true. Yeah, absolutely. And so she's shifting blame to her staff. Yeah, maybe, but it's very likely, but not definite. I would never say she did that, though. I mean, if fans want to say that or viewers want to say that, that's fine. But, you know, as a streamer, I wouldn't feel comfortable pushing that type of a message unless I was certain of it, which I'm not. But I am certain to say that that is logically, you know, sound. It's logically sound thinking. So, yeah, but it was a good point. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, that's about it. But Vindication, these streamers are out of touch. It's crazy. Hopefully more and more communities be aware of this. Well, I think that more and more communities... And what I found to be very interesting is even with the Valkyrie thing, a lot of people here were even, like... They were even kind of on my side about this, right? I mean, it's... I thought this was kind of interesting, right? It never... That never happens. It basically never happens. So, yeah. It's actually good strategy, playing the staff. Isn't naming anyone personally. Yeah, I mean, let's see. That non-binary doing exist. You want to be male or female? Yeah, I mean, Nurgle's acolyte has spoken. All hail Nurgle and his wisdom. I don't get why people obsess over gender identity. Because people want everybody to acknowledge it. That's the reason why. Says the guy who is 50% cockroach and 50% Neanderthal. Man. Yeah, that's about right, huh? And I don't know what to say. And people getting offended over Asmongold getting quite shocking. Not quite as shocked as Hassan's dog. Yeah, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Well, I guess God is a Sith. And by the way, I didn't deal in absolutes. I said that there were exceptions and there were medical anomalies. So, you know, that's why I'm, of course, you know, a Jedi. And everybody that's against me is a Sith, clearly. But didn't Neanderthals have larger brains? Well, a whale has a larger brain than a human, but that doesn't mean a whale is smarter than a human. The way that I think a brain works is not necessarily, it doesn't work necessarily that way. So, yeah, I don't think that the brain size is the only way that you can judge intelligence. But anyway, so true. Yes, how do you know? I saw it on Reddit. Like, I saw it on Reddit 11 years ago, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. Whales' brains are really big. And that was about it. Bigger doesn't mean better? Well, there are a couple of things that is true with, specifically a couple. But, you know, other than that, yeah, I think it's generally true. But, yeah, you can see the entire... And I think this is a bit of a Reddit awakening for a lot of people. Because a lot of these Redditors, I think, you know, were under the false delusion that many of these streamers and creators and things, you know, like, they had a very different impression of them than the way they actually are. And I think this is a good thing. It's a good thing for people to effectively realize that, you know, break the parasocial bonds, watch streams for entertainment, enjoy what you're seeing, enjoy what you're watching, don't get emotionally connected, don't get mad. When a streamer starts saying something that makes you mad, you need to turn it off. You just turn it off. Just stop looking at it. Oh man, I keep doing the thing that makes me mad. Well, stop it. Stop doing it. But yeah, that's generally the way that I feel with a lot of these people, and so I don't really hold it against them. I don't really, you know, I'm not really angry at them. I'm not mad at them. I don't really care. It's not a big deal to me, if you want me to be honest. I don't really think about it a lot. So you know, I've got a lot of other things to think about and make decisions on. And if you want me to be, you know, this is like maybe an ego thing. But those things are pretty important in a lot of cases. They're, you know, in some cases, multi-million-dollar decisions. And actually, in almost all cases, they are. And so I'm not really going to get myself worked up about a person saying that I'm mean. Just not going to worry about it. That's it. You know, and that's really the truth. You know, that's the actual reason. And so that's really it. And so let's talk about video games, bro. Fuck the haters. Well, we're going to get around to that, right? I mean, today's been a pretty interesting day, but that's been about it.